All right, Grixis Drakes is what we're gonna play next here. And so we got the kind of the core blue-red Drake shell of Pteramander, Crackling Drake, along with Lava Coil and Shock. But we're splashing in here black cards in the form of Thought Erasure, Kitesail, Freebooter, Thief of Sanity. So, one of the things I always talk about when we look at decks like this is, why are we making a change to the base blue-red Drake deck? I think I'm actually going to replace these negates with Duress, thinking about it a little bit more. So, one of the things that the traditional blue-red Drake deck tends to struggle with is its control matchup. So having cards like Kitesail, Freebooter, Thought Erasure, and Thief of Sanity there to help that matchup. Thief is also very good against Sultai midrange, so I feel like these cards could potentially help in those places. I also like proactive disruption like Duress and Thought Erasure, because these are cards that protect our threats that also get instants and sorceries into the graveyard proactively for things like Crackling Drake and like Pteramander. Now, obviously, we're giving up a little bit of consistency in the mana base to make this happen. So let's see if the power level we potentially gain here is worth the added inconsistency in the mana base. That's the real question we're going to want to be asking ourselves while we play these games. Having a pile of removal spells here will be very good against aggressive decks. You'll notice this deck, similar to the one we just got done playing, has Shock and Shivan Fire in it. And having just this pile of efficient removal spells is very, very good against a lot of decks in the format. So we do get, like, snow and ice here where I live in the Midwest, but the upside to that is we also don't get super extremes. Like, we generally don't have to worry about tornadoes or hurricanes or floods or any of those super weather extremes. Like, every once in a great moon, things like that will happen here, but they're more the exception as opposed to the rule. Yeah, apparently Racer's on, like, super backorder. There has not been, Rex. Not had any submissions for that. Deep Root. Okay. So, the fact that they're going a little bit slow here is actually kind of good for us, because it gives us time to get this Thief of Sanity set up. And I've got Lava Coil to off Kumena next turn. Well then. Well. That's a lot of fish. I might not be able to off Kumena. Might be in trouble here. They're gonna play this next turn and immediately be able to put 1/1 counters on everything. Thief is not good in this matchup. This is probably a matchup where our black cards are just worse than being straight blue-red. The discard's probably kind of okay, but like Thief of Sanity is not good. I don't think this deck wants a sweeper so much as we just want to use our spot removal efficiently. And like, we have creatures that can block things in a meaningful way as well. So I don't think you need sweepers and everything. I think we're dead here. If they play a land and play Kumena, we're dead. I guess it's worth, so like, Cannonade kills our Thief, but it doesn't kill Kitesail. I don't know. I think people knee-jerk and put sweepers into their creature decks too often, and I think we probably have an okay time just, like, having a bunch of spot removal. It is worth noting that Cast Down is valuable in matchups like this. Like, it's a card that can kill large Kumenas and things like that. Now, I think bringing in Spell Pierce is really too narrow in this matchup. Although Dive Down's not very good. Oh, it can't kill Kumena. You're good. It's legendary. Other bigger things. Wild Growth Walker. Use Wild Growth Walker as an example. There you go. They're going to bring in Harpooners. Yeah, I mean, I'm bringing in extra shocks. I guess, okay, so that makes Dive Down better. That makes sense. I'll leave in Dive Down because they're bringing in Harpooners. I like that line. Ancient Reality, thanks for the Prime support. Welcome, welcome. So, the difference between the Teamer and the Sultai Climb decks is the play pattern that you want to generate, Zelfie. So, the Teamer deck is much more of an aggressive deck, whereas the Sultai Climb deck is more of a grindy mid-range control deck. So, if you want to get people dead, I would recommend playing the Teamer configuration like I've been playing. If you want to grind and could play games where decking could be a factor, play the Sultai deck. Yeah, it's not a good look, Be Rich. It's really not a good look. I almost wrote a multi-thread chain talking about it, and then I decided it just wasn't worth my time. It's not worth the keystrokes. Yeah, maybe my Lava Coil there is too aggressive. It's just like, I used the Lava Coil last turn because I wanted to play Crackling Drake this turn. Perfect. I mean, it's not worth the keystrokes, not because I'm trying to disrespect the MPL players, but just because, as someone who has a lot of experience engaging in social media, an interaction like that is going to end up with me getting dragged through the mud, even regardless of what I'm trying to say. Because there are people who will read me saying anything even slightly negative towards something that an MPL player has said, and use it to attack me personally. And say, Jeff's salty or Jeff's jealous because he didn't get into the tournament, even though that's completely irrelevant to the point I'm trying to make. Just understand how these interactions work. I only got second in the tournament, to be fair, but the tournament was a lot of fun. The Teamer Climb deck's very good. It's the Teamer Climb deck is the exact play pattern of deck I love playing in general, so I enjoyed it a lot. Wow, so their hand is just like mono poop, huh? I think the fact that they just played that there means that I don't want to play Niv-Mizzet out here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this can enter tap. I think I'm just going to play this and fluke this. Because I feel like they have incubation or they have a harpooner here, and I don't want to play this out and get it killed. Yeah, the Teamer deck is aggressive, but also has a lot of lines of play to it, which makes me enjoy it. Yeah, I'm so close to playing Niv with interaction up, I just want to wait. I'm just going to let this trade here because, oh, that's a 4. Well, yeah, that's super, okay. The Vanifear deck this morning went very well. I was super happy with it. Coob Cram, thank you for the 12 months. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. Ooh. I knight thee, defender of the realm. Go forth and protect us from Twitch chat. This card is so good. It's kind of unreasonable how good this card has been. Alright, what you working with over there? Whew! Man, I am so super happy that I was just like conservative with this Niv. So next turn, we get to play old Nivy boy with the dive down up. We've played we played a build with Spawn Seraph on stream Burst Power. It was really good. The whole Cohen testimony thing is just, I was watching clips of it last night. It's just been the hottest of messes, which is just like kind of on point for the rest of the administration. I think we're solid. But thankfully, this is the type of deck where garbage time ends quickly, right? Like Pteramander and Niv close the door. Yeah, I agree, Prime's Ghost. That's basically what happened. If Niv's a good janitor, he cleans up after everything's done. Taking out the stinky fish. Someone asked about an upkeep dive down. I don't think that's relevant just because they do play incubation incongruity. So I think playing around that so I can have them dead on board is a worthwhile exchange. Thank you for catching that, Mike. I missed it. Yeah, I'm just gonna click submit. Evan, thanks for the 6 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I think this is okay. Like, the Opt and the Charter Course are like mystery cards. They could be anything. Hopefully they're going to be removal spells. It's a real shame we didn't have a shock here. I think I'm supposed to bottom this just looking for removal. Really just want shocks and Shivan Fires from here on out. So this turn we get to go Blood Crypt tapped, Shivan Fire their thing, shock their thing. I'm gonna do this now so they don't have dive down protection or whatnot. Spell Pierce, etc. Don't be afraid to play your instances sorceries if it guarantees that they resolve against the deck with counterspells. Mage Cub, thanks for the 7 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. So, buttons on your underwear. I think I'm going to go ahead and just chart a course here. Huh. So feeling a little bit bad about discarding the other thing earlier. I think I just ditched the Niv here. I think I'm supposed to ditch Niv here. He's just not coming down for a long time. So if you kill this in response to it adapting, it never adapts, so they don't get to draw discard, which is nice. I've seen addendum called the mechanic that teaches you how to play instants properly. That's funny, Beetle. On point. A phenomenal draw. I'm going to be conservative here and just kill their stuff, I think, this turn. Maybe I'm supposed to leave the Jade Bearer there. Maybe that's aggressive. I kind of just want to use my mana this turn. Like, saving Lava Coil for a Kumena feels good, but like if I just kill all their Merfolk, their Kumena is worse, which is like reasonable. Deal. Yeah, things that still trigger Chart, of course, next turn. That. I'd say they tanked long enough that that felt like a spell. I'm gonna hold on to this other Lava Coil rather than killing their 2/2. Kumena is their way to claw back into the game, so I'm winning the race at the moment. I guess I should have done this pre-combat, because I totally would have shocked this. So, small missequence on my part there. So, I should be at 16 if I'd played a little bit better. Still winning the race on board, but could be in a better spot if I'd have played slightly better. Weird. Yikes. Alright, so I'm gonna hold... We're gonna hold one land. Yeah, but obviously I should have been greedy and kept the Niv-Mizzet earlier, but I think I'm happy with my decision so far this game. Maybe I should just leave this 3/3 back so I can play defense. It might be right to leave this 3/3 back, just because like their deck's more likely to hit creatures than mine is. Like as the game goes long, I'm more likely to win. At least we're drawing them when it counts. I'm going to hold on to the Sulfur Falls for now, just in case they kill my 3/3 and I draw a Chart, of course. Not going to hold on to two of them, though. Can they just, like, draw 6 land? Oh, that's so frustrating. Yay, Scary Terry. Go. Dead on board. Go. Draw land. Sweet. Alright, they're dead. Which deck grinds better post board? This or Sultai? Almost certainly Sultai. Solid W there. How we doing, folks? Welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good night to everybody wherever you're out in the world. Thanks for hanging out here today. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I'm a full-time streamer and content producer here on Twitch. I'm here playing Magic 30, 40, 50 hours a week. If you are someone who loves standard best of 3 constructed with sideboards, this is definitely the channel for you. That's basically all we play here on Arena. As always, a shout out to my wonderful subs. I wouldn't be here day in and day out without their wonderful support, so thanks to all of them for keeping me employed as always. And of course, I'd like to mention some of my wonderful sponsors. Quip provides wonderful, affordable, quality electric toothbrushes. If you check them out using my link bit.ly/HugoQuip, you can get your first refill kit of an extra brush head, toothpaste, and battery for free with them. And as a special incentive for that, also, if you buy a toothbrush using your Twitch account when you sign in, you'll get to bump a deck in my deck queue by 25 points when you do that. Hurley Burley Studio does professional Magic the Gathering altars using code Jeff10 at hurleyburleystudios.com. You can save 10% on all of your orders of border extensions like my beautiful basic lands as well as full art replacements. Cardsphere.com will help you turn your cards into other cards directly with other players. There's no haggling, and they just take a 1% fee off the top. And of course, InkedGaming.com will love to help you customize your gaming experience. Using code Jeff12, you can save 12% on custom playmats, mousepads, binders, and bags with them. You can upload your own custom artwork or choose from the wide range of custom artwork that they have on their website. Thanks everyone for hanging out today. Happy Thursday, almost the end of the week. Heading on into our next match here with Grixis Drakes. Able to go ahead and take down Merfolk in the first one there. In no small portion due to Niv's wonderfulness. Please put these towards Black-White Aristocrats. I love the deck, and it got me to Mythic. Yeah, it's got a lot of play to it. I'm looking forward to getting back to that one. Thanks for the bits, Frego. Sweet. I think this matchup should be good for us. I'm interested to see this play out. Excited to play against some of the more tiered decks in the format. Tempest Shin, yep. So long. Get to ditch that. And then next turn we can shock the Siren Storm Tamer and then Thought Erasure their other Tempest Shin away. So long, Mr. Tempest Shin. Alright, so I think I take Scary Terry here. I think he's fine. Next turn I go Terry, tapped Steam Vent. The following turn, attack with Terry, chart a course. Complex Beast, thank you for the Twitch Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. I guess I have 3 things in there already. If this resolves, I think I actually pay 2 here and chart now. I don't really care about this Blood Crypt in my hand. What I think is a bad matchup for this deck. I don't know. I need to play some more games with it. Feels like it has good tools to be successful in a lot of different places. Yeah, this is definitely not a matchup. Thief isn't amazing in this matchup, but Duress's Thought Erasures and Kitesail Freebooters are good here. We definitely have not hit the good Thief matchups yet. That is definitely true. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do I just pass here? I think I just pass. We're trying to avoid them hitting Tricky Dick again. Third Trickster would be bad. I believe the Nerd Rage stuff starts about 10 a.m. Saturday morning. I think I'd much rather fork this than give them a spell they can counter that turn. Ranks reset this afternoon, I believe. Pierce me, baby. The old double spell pierce. Weird. Seems like a strange moment to spell pierce. Oh, I should leave a red untapped here in case I draw a shock. So if I drew a shock there, I'd have to shock myself to cast it. I don't want to do that. All right, I think we're solidly ahead now. How much to cut Black-White Aristocrats as the next deck? To cut a deck that's already in the queue, I look for a $50 donation. And again, I know that's steep because it's to discourage people from wanting to cut. It will take much less than that to get it into tomorrow. Hey, McDevil, thank you for the 6 months. I appreciate the Prime. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Hey, SciTech. Well, I appreciate you dropping into resub. Thanks for keeping me in. Thanks for keeping me at work. So their Scary Terry's popping off next turn, so I think I just pass at this point. It doesn't have a full set of Colonnades because there aren't that many matchups in Modern where Colonnade is relevant. And it's kind of a... It's a dive down. This is a dive down, right? So I want to double block. You can choose what you kill here, but your thing is dying. So the double block is free. It just lets my opponent pick what they're killing, basically. I'm gonna leave one land in my hand for Chart a Course again. Yeah, we need to fade Trickster. Trickster would be real bad for us. Another Jin's pretty bad too. We need to hit another Drake or something meaningful. I mean, an uncounterable removal spell still loses to dive down. It's like things to note. Need to draw another big thing here. Could be anything. Perfect, Frago. Thank you for the support. Oh, probably dead here. And this is one of the advantages that the mono blue deck has against decks like what we're playing, is our deck's playing 23 lands in it. So the mono blue deck, just by virtue of being a 19 land lower to the ground tempo deck, is better in spots like this because it's able to... Do I trade for Trickster here? I'm going to decline the Trickster trade. I'm going to hope to draw a spell off of my deck, spell off of theirs. Okay, well. I think I keep that just because it guarantees I get to live another turn. Obviously, I'd like a Lava Coil, but this guarantees I get to live another turn. Well, kind of. If they miss, I get to live another turn. If they draw a Tricky Dick, we're obviously dead. Oh, the sweat. Oh, they topped it. I assume we're dead. I assume we're dead. They topped it. Maybe they just have a blocker for my Thief here. Yeah. Yep. And again, I think, like, this is definitely a matchup where Thief is not good. So we've hit 2 matchups in a row where Thief is not good. I think there's enough matchups in the format where it is good to be worth main decking, but worth noting that we did hit some awkward ones so far. Cast Down, Duress, Niv-Mizzet. Kite Sail's very reasonable here. I think Kite Sail's fine in this matchup in general play. Like, I know it didn't look great in that game, but in general, I think it's fine in this matchup. Okay, I want to do this. Seems good. Angrath, much too slow. A 5-mana removal spell is just not good enough. So, the context of which... The context through which you can fear Thief is different deck to deck. So, like, if Autumn said they feared Thief, they were probably talking about it in the context of Esper control and Sultai control that has more removal. And this deck doesn't have necessarily all that hard removal. I'm going to keep this on the play with these ops. Might get in a little bit of trouble. Hostage Shaker could be interesting. That card's definitely just very good. How would I rate the deck I'm currently playing? I have no idea. That's why we're playing games with it. I use Ubuntu 1804. I think that keep is correct every time. I will always keep that hand. You have five shots at a second land. Just how it goes. Just how it goes sometimes. This one not so much. This hand is very reasonable. Perfect. Sign me up. Teferi Avatar played a basic forest on one. I feel like I've been lied to. Well. This Thought Erasure card's pretty good, chat. Why don't more people play this one? Oh. Normally I feel a little bit bad when we make people concede, but they registered Nexus of Fate and Wilderness Reclamation so they can get out of my house. Get out of here. Nexus of Fate, get gone. So I let on Thought Erasure here, as opposed to the Kitesail Freebooter, even though the Kitesail Freebooter could enable Charter Course next turn, because I didn't want to get Hostage Takered. Yeah, was this the best draw on their deck there? That was the best draw on their deck there, right? Because it was like pressure. It was pressure into a thing.
Not dead yet.
Man, those are frustratingly good draws for them. Our hand just like wasn't doing it and we just can't even draw a fourth land. Like, best possible into us miss our land drop. Magic's in tilt sometimes. This is why I don't really play matches of Magic that are meaningful for prizes. Because if you care about your results, you're gonna have stuff like this happen to you. It's like they didn't, yeah, I should probably chart and try and hit my fourth land. You're right. I agree. It doesn't matter. We're dead. I guess if I would have charted, I guess that's unfair. If I would have charted last turn, I could have had two things in my graveyard, so Crackling Drake could have traded here and I'd be in a better spot. So I lost this game because I was frustrated and annoyed, and I played poorly because I was annoyed. So I let the fact that my opponent drew well tilt me into losing that game. That's a bad place to be. Don't do that. I think I want Thought Erasure. I agree. It's really bad if they always top deck what they need. I think I'm going to trade the Kitesails out for a couple of Strokes and a couple of Niv-Mizzets. Each from a Shock, too. I don't think this is the Angrath matchup. I have Angrath in there for the control and Nexus matchup to pressure their hand a little bit and have an ultimate that they have to worry about. Our deck can't really defend Angrath well in a matchup like this, so I don't think it's worth bringing in. to answer your question, Mazer Mouse, I didn't always handle the frustration well. And part of those stories when you see someone post like Jeff's the tilt monster, like I did tilt and mutter and swear under my breath a couple of times. Couple different occasions. Was not always the best version of me. And it wasn't every time, but it definitely happened. And I never, like, did anything that would, like, get me DQ'd. Like, I wasn't super offensive, but I was definitely more negative than I needed to be because Variance decided the result of a match or I made a mistake. I don't think I need to Erasure just yet. I think I want to generate a little bit of velocity. Like... Alright, I'm just gonna go to the next one. We'll pretend we didn't make mistakes and we'll go to the next one. Shake it off. Listen, if I'd have cast Thought Erasure on 2, the Cry of the Canarium would have come off the top of their deck. Are y'all new here? That's what would have happened. That's just how these things work. Did you not see the Thought Erasure in the first game where we Thought Erasered their hand that was garbage, a garbage pile, and then they just ran it off? Yeah, we played Mono Blue on the stream literally over the weekend. We also played Blue Splash White tempo yesterday on stream. Okay, just leave Shock there. Their hand's got a lot of lands in it too, at least, so. We'll see. See you can find more threats first. Sweet tracks. Have fun. I'm playing the Sulfur Falls out rather than the Steam Vents because this way if they have a haste creature next turn, I can kill that. I get kind of punished for holding the Shock and playing the Lava Coil should my opponent draw Goblin Chain Whirler. This feels pretty good though. Drake, Crackling Drake. Thief is also fine. Dies to more, but kind of okay as well. If it doesn't die, it runs away with the game. Wombat Combat. Thanks for the 7 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and block here. Just use this as a gain too. It's bad if I draw like second Kite Sail, but other than that, it's pretty reasonable. Nice, Chewy. I think I just do this and start attacking for 6 here. The Kitesail freebooters have felt really mediocre so far. I might just replace them with Enigma Drakes. They could be holding lands, or they could be holding burn spells, just to like try and hammer my health total. Let's find out what they have. I'm sure this is about to send just like 2 blasts at my face, or at my Crackling Drake. One brick, 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 brick, brick. All right, whew. Is this a matchup where I want Thought Erasure? I'm not sure I want Thought Erasure. Maybe trimming Opt is correct too. You think Thief is medium? I don't know that I can cut all my threats. Like, I'm not blanking Shock. So like they have to shock this and they have to shock this. Like, I don't know that I can bring in Niv-Mizzet. This is definitely a matchup where I wish I had Enigma Drake in my deck. So I think we're gonna swap the Kite Sail freebooters for that after this one. Erasure helps Thief of Sanity. Like, I think I'm gonna cut these. I think they're just like we're gonna get to too many spots like last game where there's like are empty-handed. Yeah, maybe Dive Down's wrong. Maybe Dive Down is better as 2 Kite Sail just because like it's a creature with power and toughness. Now, 2/1 First Strike isn't really what I want to be doing in my life. As in, this isn't a deck like the red-black mid-range decks that, like, have a bunch of First Strike creatures on the ground. Like, one random 2/1 First Striker is not fantastic. Chain Whirler punishes me here, but I kind of just want to be resource efficient. Maybe I'm supposed to just, like, opt into a shock that turn, but I kind of want to opt into lands as well. Alright, well, it's kind of the best of both worlds. Maybe I'm supposed to just hold Spell Pierce up this turn. Because if I hold Spell Pierce up, I can pierce them off a Experimental Frenzy, which is like their best possible play this turn. Feel a little bit bad bottoming Shivan Fire when I missed my land anyways, but I think it's right to dig for a land there. Alright, so let's start by checking out some of our options. Yikes. You want to ditch the Shockland here? Ooh, that's exciting. That's exciting. Okay, sweet. I think I'm supposed to decline this. You think we're dead? I think I have a chance in the back of these spell pierces. I think on the back of these spell pierces I have a real shot. Can I get this up to 12 next turn? I think I could get this up to 12 next turn. I might just have 2-turn lethal here. Wow, hello there. Thank you for the 8-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Ha! We're dead, huh, chat? You still think we're dead, chat? You think we're dead? Okie dokie. Okie dokie. My Drake's bigger than your guys. My Drake's bigger than your guys. Do 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 do. All right, kite sails have not been impressive. Let's push that around. Dive down was better than kite sail because it gave us the lethal discard, right? Yeah, I'm just gonna do this. Black for some board cards and yeah. Dead only dead on the inside. Grixis Drakes. Do 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 do. Grixis Drakes. A couple of people have been asking earlier about how this build feels versus the teamer build we played before this. This build seems like it's more aggressive, whereas the teamer build was more controlling. Yeah, for sure. Drake is real strong. Drake is real good, like. Wouldn't Bolas be fun here? It would be fun. I don't know if it would be very good, though. Yeah, Kite Sail is good when you want to be aggressive because it does attack. Like it deals, but it's like a discard spell. It deals 3 to 4 points of damage. The CMC is a little bit mediocre, right? Like I don't have all my colors. I can't play Pteramander on 1. I don't have any cards that generate velocity like Opt or Charter Course to kind of churn through my deck and get to things that I need. So I think I play Catch and Release here. Promptly punched by Magic for being a little bit conservative. I'm gonna keep on the draw with the Scribe. Got a lot of blue sources in our deck. I've definitely splashed for less, Chucky. And again, like, it's not just like, you don't look at a splash and go, okay, so like, this is a matchup that I'm excited to play. Like, this is, do the Thought Erasures and the Thief of Sanities potentially help a matchup like this? Because this is a matchup that's hard for the traditional Drake's build without extra tools that black can lend it. So again, I don't think adding black to this deck is necessarily needless so much as it's identifying a problem and then working to try and solve it. Like, you don't write off a splash as being good or bad based on how many cards you're splashing, right? Like, look at the Teamer Climb deck that we've been playing, right? Like, the Teamer Climb deck, the only red cards in it are two worms in the main and Lava Coil in the sideboard. Did you get a chance to watch that video, by the way? Well, on Arena, you can confirm you're not Scribebug because you can see the card in the bottom. Collision Colossus is like a splash. It's like a splash in quotes. So, like, against a normal opponent, I'd concede, but, like, my opponent's elected to play Esper control, so, like, they're not doing anything, so they don't punish me for fumbling around here. So, like, I get to play this Charter Course on turn 12 as my first spell I've cast this game, and, like, we're probably fine. You got me. I guess they don't know about this Thought Erasure. Like, with Thought Erasure in hand, I'm super happy to have that get countered. Do I like the most in this standard format between aggro, control, or mid-range? I like decks like the Teamer Climb deck. I like decks that have an aggressive slant to them, but aren't just dead in a game that goes long. So, Light Up the Stage is a card that's generally not good in decks that have more expensive cards, as well as cards that can occasionally be reactive. They have Thief of Sanity in their main deck. That's so weird. I wonder if they have Hostage Taker in their main, too. Maybe I'm not supposed to... Maybe I'm supposed to Lava Coil that, just so, like, my Lava Coil has a text box. That's so weird. Play my main deck Cry into my main deck Thief. Hey, here's my 5/5. Go. Yeah, it looks like just Esper control with Thief in the main. Yeah, two mana 5/5. 2 mana 5/5 flyer. You got him. 1 Drake, please. Can we nickname Pteramander Josh? Because Crackling Drake is Drake. He is scary, Terry. Maybe that makes Enigma Drake Josh. I think that makes Enigma Drake Josh, right? Alright, for those that don't understand why I'm conceding there, my opponent's Search for Azcanta is going to flip over next turn, and a flipped Search for Azcanta is not a card that we can beat. They're just going to draw an extra card every single turn with it. It's going to very quickly run away with the game. It's not something that we can go toe-to-toe with. Alright, what do my sideboard options look like here? I definitely want Angrath and Niv-Mizzet. I think Cast Down's more relevant than Lava Coil. So, Collision Colossus, so you don't splash for Lava Coil, you splash for Ravager Worm, and because you're playing Ravager Worm, you add Lava Coil. Once you start playing Sultai, you get too grindy, and I just don't think grind is where you want to be with that deck. I think if you want to grind, you might as well just go and play the stock good deck, the stock Sultai midrange deck. Yeah, Opt could be the cut. I could see that. What else do I want to trim here? I like Ravager Worm a lot. It really gives you that extra oomph to close games, and it acts as a little bit of removal that doesn't have to be removal. Which is one of the really elegant things about that deck is, like, you have so many cards that are removal spells that don't have to be removal spells. Yeah, maybe I can afford to cut Shock because I have Thought Erasure. And, like, I have this to kill it too, and I have blockers. Thief of Sanity is just a card that I do worry about. I feel like this is just an all threats on deck matchup. Like, I don't really want to cut. So, like, the problem with saying keep Opt because it's good with Niv is, like, if your Niv is living, you don't need cards to make it good. The Niv is good all on its own. So don't use making your best cards better as an excuse to leave mediocre cards in your deck. Yep. Guess I keep that. What does Biomancer do? I don't think I know that one. Do I just chart here? They're gonna have Absorb up next turn. I think I just chart here. I have extra lands that I don't mind getting rid of. Oh, the 1-drop. I say the name sounded familiar. Yeah, I don't think that card's good enough. You just don't have enough blue sources to play it consistently early. It would be great if it cost green or blue-green hybrid, but you just can't afford to cast it early. Didn't I board out Lava Coil? I'm pretty sure I boarded out Lava Coil. This game is definitely going to act like just a control mirror here. They have Dubs Absorb. The control mirror probably favors the Esper deck. Believe it or not. Oh, why did I do that? I was thinking I wanted to cast this without tapping a blue, but it's a blue spell. That's fine. Mistakes were made. Being able to shock a Teferi after it's down ticked on something is very valuable. So you are definitely right that shock or Shivan Fire is better against Hostage Taker, but resolving a 5-mana removal spell against their Hostage Taker is also going to be hard. So I think I'd rather have shock to hedge things like Teferi having down ticked and other things of that nature. Absorb me. Absorb me! Let's me continue to hold up Disdainful Stroke, which is nice. I'm going to continue to hold on to this mountain for now in case I draw another Charter Course. Yesterday we had a really good post-spell Pierce Land Drop of Shame. Shame we did not draw blue source here. If they have, like, Teferi down tick, yeah, probably dead. I'm just gonna concede.
This isn't a fight.
Lost to our mana base there. And, like, it's worth noting, like, we didn't lose to our mana base because we had a splash here. We lost to the mana base just because we didn't have blue sources. Like, if we were playing straight blue-red Drakes, we would just have a bunch of mountains in play, and we still wouldn't have we still wouldn't have had enough blue sources. Yeah, that's true too. Shock is also reach, so like the floor on Shock is much higher. A little unfortunate that we stumbled and died the first game and then had color issues again the second game. Maybe I don't have enough blue in the mana base. Yeah, I believe we have the same number of blue sources as blue-red Drakes. We have more total lands than they do on average, too. We have 16 blue sources, or normal Drake says 16 blue sources. How many does stock Drakes have? Cards we see 2, we should be fine. This game we kept a 2-lander on the draw, and then we drew 2 extra cards, so like we missed our 3rd land drop on 3, seeing 5 cards. Actually, you know what? I'm probably supposed to just shock their dome there. So again, just like Mike, thinking about problem, issue, how are you solving it, what are we cutting? There's infinite magic cards we can fit into this deck. So like if you want to add something, we need to be, all right, this is what we're adding, this is why we're adding it, why is it a worthwhile addition? I get it, we can cast Discovery, I get it, cantrips seem good, but like what are we cutting and why is that a good cut? Like, it's very easy to, like, knee-jerk and think you need to make a bunch of changes to your deck when you run cold. It's very easy to, like, pigeonhole and focus on the anecdotal evidence of the small amount of games that we've played. Our sample size with any deck we play here over 90 minutes is very small. I have three blue sources this game and no black sources. Should we have panic add black sources? Like... No, or just like, you know, there's 13 or 14 black sources and we're 17 cards into our deck without a black source. Like, that's magic sometimes. It's kind of how the variance goes. It's like they have an expansion explosion in their hand the way the paw's there. Oh, well, we're dead. Will do, Luxmore. Thanks for the biddies. I appreciate it. Hope you're having a good one. You're right. I could have hoped that they were stupid. On average, I'd rather just concede when we're dead rather than like hope my opponent's gonna make a mistake. Cause like when we're not playing for anything that I don't care about, I'm looking to just learn about the decks and like if my opponent is playing well, like our deck lost, so let's just like move along with our lives. I think this seems fine. Bring in the counter spells. Duresses, some beefy top end. so we can never answer or resolve Niv. You could attack through it. You could Thought Erasure it out of their hand, but yeah, you're kind of cold too. You're kind of cold too. We actually beat a Niv earlier today. Yeah, probably be rich. I'm also going to be more selective about which decks. Like, this is a deck I'd probably be playing on the ladder once we care, but we'll take more lines trying to hope that our opponent makes us stupid when we care about the result. It's my favorite deck in Standard. Team or Climb, Y2K. Welcome to the Knights. Seems pretty reasonable. I don't think so. There aren't that many Niv-Mizzets in the format. Like, think about how many Nivs there are in the format, and then think about how often they're gonna rip the Niv off the top after you Thought Erasure them. So again, it's super easy just like pigeonhole and focus and like be super results based rather than just like step back and think about how often is this thing actually occurring? Is it a thing we actually need to worry about? That game, like, the Niv would have been a non-issue if we'd have just like drawn a land sooner. Like, there's so many things in those decision trees. I'm going to play the Chart, of course, post-combat, because I don't want to have to discard the cards. It gives us one less point of damage here, but it lets me keep all the stuff, obviously. Yeah, there's a possibility that Angrath is... There's a possibility that Angrath is worse than an Eldest Reborn. I could see that being a possibility. Especially because I don't think this deck really wants to board in Angrath against, like, Sultai, which means the slot's probably better as a card that's better against control. Hey, thanks for the 9 months, F. Weasel, and thank you for the tier 2 reset. Welcome back. How do I feel about Ral in this deck? Why do I want Ral? What problem do I have that Ral solves? Why is Ral worth playing? Enlighten me. Supply a healthy dose of one-liners. Do I have a problem killing bigger creatures? Because, like, now you're generalizing specifically Niv to everything else. Because, like, blocking lets you kill bigger creatures. So, like, do I have a problem killing bigger creatures? I can get under them. Like, so many people like to take the big thing I've learned from people everywhere is that people like to conflate. Every deck has to be a control deck when you're Twitch, basically. Just, if your deck can't have an answer to every possible thing, your deck's bad. You know what the best answer to most things are? Killing them while they have cards in their hand. The best possible answer to Niv and Ral is kill them before that card is relevant. Our deck doesn't really get black consistently. The specific math's a little bit muddled because we do have... The specific math's a little bit muddled because we do have a lot of cantrips in our deck, but in general, getting black consistently early is not good. Like, if your deck's registering Pteramander, you're probably You're probably like, it's okay, like, and games like this are why people pigeonhole on trying to be a control deck so often, because these games feel bad to lose. They feel emotionally taxing. When you're playing an aggressive deck and you win with an aggressive deck, you win very quickly. And when you're playing against and when you lose with an aggro deck, you lose very slowly. So it's a very human emotional response to say, my aggro deck needs to be better against the control decks, because when I win, it doesn't feel good for very long, and when I lose, it feels long and terrible. It's also why people are always biased in favor of playing control decks, even when they're not good. Because when you lose with the control deck, you lose very quickly, and you kind of forget that you lost. Whereas when you win with the control deck, you win in this really long, drawn-out fashion that feels really good for a long time. And it's very easy to forget and, like, not look at the numbers at what's happening. Pit Panther, thanks for the Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. I do think Eldest Reborn's a good idea, though. Thinking about what the Angrath slot is trying to do, Eldest Reborn seems like a better choice there. Yeah, you can find a ton of videos of Team or Climb on my website and my YouTube channel. Let's play one more here with this before we wrap it up and do a takeaway. I think there's any particular reason for that. I have no idea, Josu. Probably the reason I just said there, which is when you lose, it's fast and brutal, and when you win, it's long and drawn out. I think people are playing the Temur Reclamation deck for the same reason people love playing Esper Control. Because it feels good. I think at the end of the day, this is a standard format where there's probably 20 different decks that you could play and have good results with, so whatever deck feels the best for you to play, just go play that deck and enjoy it. So it's okay to just like things. Play things that you like. Break yourself of this idea that you need this huge bit of validation to play this deck that you're playing, because the deck has to be busted for you to like playing it. Just like find decks that you enjoy the play patterns of and then play them. So that's what Magic's about. It's about playing decks that you enjoy. That was a good draw. Removal spell is good when they tap out. Make a note to restart the client. Are you going to try and diddle my thief? If they diddle my thief, I might just play second thief post-combat. Oh, this is cute. So they're gonna block now. Nah, Mortify is great. Cards like Mortify, Collision Colossus, Crushing Canopy, all of these cards are fantastic and are part of what make the standard format really awesome. Where do I want to trim here? I think my dive downs actually aren't good. I want Duress because it's resource efficient. I think I want to cut these Thought Erasures. Oh, you're right. I could have protected my thief before the trigger happened and hit them. That's probably fine. I think Thief's actually not good enough in this matchup for us. Like normal blue-red Drakes is, like, pretty good in this matchup. Just, like, being closer to blue-red Drakes is probably fine. I wonder if Opt is not good enough and I just would rather have Thief for more threats. Maybe I want to do that. Yeah, let's do this. Are there any Legacy decks that I'm high on right now? If I go to the Legacy Nerd Rage tournament next month, I'm going to find a copy of Jeskai Stoneblade. Nah, I really like Niv in this matchup. Niv just, like, closes the door on them very hard. And, like, when Niv's awkward, we can, like, chart a course through him. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Training against Tempo deck seems reasonable. So this has all my colors in it, but it just doesn't have any of our many removal spells, so I'm going to go ahead and mulligan. Yeah, this deck's playing more, that's worth noting too, our deck's playing more lands than to the typical Drake's deck. To enable my third splash color, I've added a 23rd land to the deck. When do I review deck submissions? Every stream after I finish. Almost every day. Unless I stream a 12+ hour day, I look at deck submissions every night. So, I don't think I'm planning to do 12 today. I think I'm planning to wrap up about 4 or 5 o'clock today, so I'll probably take a peek this evening. An argument for trimming Terra and trimming up? No, I don't think so. Pteramander's stat line is also just very good in this matchup in general. Mission briefing is a lot worse than Snapcaster Mage. Yeah, I think it was in really poor taste on Twitter for MPL players to be defending the top 8 slog. But who am I? They could do them. People who manually tap while playing monocolored deck should be put on their own separate ladder for slow, miserable MTG Arena players. Surveil 2 is much worse than a 2-1 body. A 2-1 body allows you to generate 2-for-1s, and that's why Snapcaster Mage is good. It's good because it generates 2-for-1s. Ah, the old Trickadick. All right, so what do I want to Lava Coil here? It's probably the Mistcloak Herald, right? I think it's the Mistcloak Herald. If I draw a land next turn, I can fart Terry. The upside to killing the Jhin is that there's a lot more cards in my deck that kill Jhin than kill the other thing. Or that kill the other thing than kill Jhin. Because the reach is really good. That's why. Because the reach is really good. Does Merfolk stop the fart? It does not. Wow, that's really interesting. How aggressive do you want to be? This is a good example. Someone asked earlier, am I supposed to cut Pteramander when I trim Opt? And this game's a really good example of just like why Pteramander's so good. Just large flying threats, especially ones that you resolve before they can have counter magic up, are very good in this matchup. What's my favorite well-to-sell paper cards? A buy list, because I hate finance. I hate dealing with finance nonsense. Why do I have to double block? This doesn't make any sense, this play. Yeah, I think they were supposed to Trickster a Pteramander, untap Trickster another Pteramander. I think it's the line they were supposed to take. Well, Card Spheres is a way to technically sell your cards, but ideally, I believe Card Sphere is supposed to be used to turn your cards into other cards. I don't know offhand how their cut turns into my list. And also, Card Sphere is work. So I don't lie to support my sponsors. So if I had cards to sell, I wouldn't do it on Card Sphere because my time is worth more than mailing out a lot of envelopes to people. I don't enjoy doing that. And as an adult who tends to have more money than time, anything that's tedious like that I don't enjoy doing, I just won't do it, right? Because does it bring me joy? If no, not going to do it. So like, you will get more money using something like Card Sphere, using buy, sell, trade groups, like all of these things will get you more money than using a buy list. But they asked what I personally would do. And the reason why people appreciate my sponsors is because I don't lie to support them. So Card Sphere is a great service. If you enjoy trading, they're fast and elegant and great way to turn your cards into other cards for the people if that's what you enjoy and that's what you have time to do. But I personally don't want to go through and wait and mail out a bunch of stuff to different people and wait for systems. So this is not what I would do personally. I think I want to play one more. I kind of like this deck. I'm going to play one more before we move on to Red Black Aggro. Jeff is the Marie Kondo of Magic selling. I don't know what that means, but I'm going to take it as a compliment. To submit a deck build around captivating Grixis, captive audience, and Bulwas. Maybe put it through the form on my website. I will respond later. I don't say yes or no off the cuff here, because then people feel bad if I change my mind later. How do we feel about Lava Coil? So I could Lava Coil here, slow them down. I think I want to do that and just like curve Drakes out here ideally. I think I want to Bolt the Bird. Like chart's not super incentivizing here. Just like these cards are worth more if I play them after I play a Drake. Is basically what it comes down to, which makes it more appealing to play them after. Actually, it's funny, a couple people had mentioned they were thinking about picking up Lisa's using my code, and I said I wasn't sure when it was going to end. My advertiser just told me that my Lisa links are going to stop working at the beginning of March. There were a couple of people, I don't remember who exactly, that said they were thinking about picking up a mattress using my code. That code's only going to be good for 2 more weeks. Did I just draw 2 more here? I think I just draw 2 more. Sweet. And then now, next turn I can go tapped land, Enigma Drake, Pteramander. Actually, I might go tapped land, Enigma Drake, Op, so I can trade Jakes for their 4/4. I don't want to lose this race. Little teamer action going on the other side of the board. Yep. So if they have Collision Colossus here, we're probably going to get got. But if they don't have Collision Colossus, we're in a pretty reasonable spot here overall, I think. Yikes! That one is also not great for us.
How this thing goes is up to you, pal. This is nothing.
Pretty obligated to block here, I think. Night Stars, thanks for the Prime. Hope you're having a good one wherever you're at. Welcome, welcome. Looking for a shock here. I think I just want to put Terry into play. Just have 2 threats on board. Alright, I get it. I shouldn't have played one more. I get it. We shouldn't have played one more. Please stop. Please stop. Alright, Stroke sounds good. Shivan Fire good here. Shivan Fire is probably not unreasonable. No, you don't want Eldest Reborn against the deck full of, like, mediocre green creatures. Let's give this a try. Cast Down is good. Oh, yeah, Cast Down's probably good. Yeah, that should be in my deck. It's probably better than Lava Coil. Alright, so this is definitely Dragonskull Summit on 1, into Island, Thought Erasure on 2, hopefully Thief of Sanity on 3. 2 shots in an untapped land here. Well, that's a heck of a hand. We're gonna miss our 3rd land drop and die here, because I've read this book before. Rick's Maddie as opposed to Explore Creatures is interesting. Yep. Yep, they're gonna hit their lance and curve out, and we're gonna die. That's unfortunate. Hopefully they make this a 3-3. Perfect. Yeah, this is the last match with this deck. Couple shots at Lava Coil here. Yeah, we missed this on 3. We were just like too far behind when we didn't play a card that impacted the board on 3. No, just Teamer from the opponent so far. They have a 4th color. We haven't seen it. So need to draw Lava Coil or Chart a Course into land Lava Coil. Okie dokie. Oh yeah, I guess this is a black card. I don't know. They could just be playing it for filtering. The part where they drew the Vivian. So I discarded the dive down last turn, so that way my Pteramanders would cost less to floop off, basically. This is if we had a shock, we'd be able to stay in this game, or a Shivan Fire. If we had like shock, we could like shock this. This would trade here, and then we'd floop one of these off and be in the game. But I don't know. This is so. I like where the deck list for this ended up at, but our results were definitely really clunky there, and like it's hard to separate on such a small sample size whether the deck was bad or, you know, we missed our 3rd land drop a lot. We missed our 3rd land drop a lot, like after casting cantrips. We missed our 3rd land drop after surveilling, after casting Chart a Course and seeing 2 extra cards. It's just hard to know without playing more games with something like this. Is it actually bad, or was that just like the brunt of Variance coming in and beating us up a little bit? I'm like, conclusions like that, maybe too many threats and not enough filtering. I don't know. Like, you can't know that without playing more games. Like the 6 matches I've played here, I don't really know if that gives me enough information to draw that conclusion accurately. So like, one thing people kept bringing up was discovery, and like, we're basically playing Thought Erasure in the discovery slot, and while this isn't quite the same card velocity that discovery gives, this does give us some selection and does provide instants and sorceries. Why do you often play cards post-combat rather than before? That's a great question. So, generally speaking, unless the card you're playing is going to impact your combat step, you want to attack before you play your spells, because Magic's a game about hidden information, and your opponent knowing the spell you're going to play for the turn could impact how they choose to block in combat. So remember, this isn't a game like Hearthstone where you, the attacker, chooses how combat works. You make a decision in combat, and then your opponent gets to make a decision as well. And their decision could be impacted by having extra information of knowing what you're going to be playing for the turn. Alright, so we're going to move along to red-black aggro here.